Hey guys, this is Emilio with RMS Customs and Fab. Wanted to present you guys our Pro Touring, Road Race, Autocross, Streetable, everything car. So this is Commando. So I know a lot of you guys have been following on Instagram, and I wanted to show you guys as far as on the build and do a video. Sometimes pictures doesn't do justice as far as what we've done on the vehicle itself. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. Okay guys, so what I wanted to go over with you on the 69 Commando Camaro is the engine bay. Let's take a look at this. It's just a mock-up motor that we have right now, but this is basically where the engine power plant's going to be sitting. As far as everything else that we already have that we've been fabricated, everything here is custom. You're not going to see anything original. Everything on this car is custom. The only thing that's going to be original on this car is going to be, as far as steel that basically still retained, is the hard shell structure. Everything else has been replaced, fabricated, custom made, so you won't see anything really that's gonna, you know, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, oh, that's still original on the car. It's not. So let's going on the engine itself. Couple secrets. I'm not gonna tell you as far as everything on the vehicle because this is a road race car. This is one of those cars that a lot of stuff went into time designing, and basically there's a lot of secrets that's going to be kept throughout the shop. But I will tell you stuff that we've done. I just won't give you measurements. So, but the engine has been lowered and it has been back. So as obviously you can tell because the firewall has been recessed. So we did put the dry sump on the passenger side. Dry sump has actually been fabricated to hold more oil, the dry sump tank. We also put the filler neck for the dry sump because obviously if it's hidden, it's in the fender inside. Obviously, how are you going to be able to, you know, fill it and check your oil and all that stuff? So we did fabricate as far as an axis panel. The other thing is the filler. The filler is going to be right here. It's on the filler tube that's going to be on the firewall itself. This firewall does have a reinforced structure on it. So even though people might think, oh, it's just a plate and they just welded. I mean, the car hits, so the tube is going to go through. Negative. It's actually, we put a plate in the back, and that's actually going to be also reinforced with the roll cage that's inside the middle, and that's holding into the plate in the front. This vehicle front end is all going to be carbon fiber. Probably I would probably say maybe 80% of this car is carbon fiber. The only thing that's going to remain steel is going to be the roof and the quarters. Everything else is going to be pretty much carbon fiber on this car. So safety was a key structure on this car. We're still building on the roll cage itself, but we wanted to build the main stuff right now just to get a lot of stuff going. We got the vehicle going as far as scans for the interior. Continue building throughout the engine bay. So our main thing is we just want to do the main hoops and everything as far as get that going. But we are still building throughout the roll cage to make sure that this vehicle is going to be safety. Customers are going to be going really, really fast in this car. This car will be powered by an RMS custom built engine, it's an LS7 427, but it is going to be a high compression motor. It is going to be running on E85 or E90. It's also going to be revving up pretty high. So one of the key things that we wanted is we ended up doing a custom camshaft on this vehicle, on the engine itself. Very, very high lift camshaft, very high RPMs, with custom drivetrain, valve train on the heads, and at the same time on the road tent assembly. So one of the other things that we wanted to do is, I wanted to show you is, this car is going to be having Bosch Motorsports ABS system, and we are running the Tilton master cylinders and the pedal assembly. So car is still going to be street driven. So we wanted to do, if the car ever rained on the customer itself, we wanted to make sure that he was still wanted to have access to his wipers. So we ran a DSC front wiper motor, but it's all been modified because the wiper motor originally goes out here. So we modified that. We modified the wiper arms. We modified the cowl. I mean, it's all been modified so that way everything works the way it's supposed to work. So, but yeah, we are running a Ring Brothers hinges. We are running a PWR, which is CNR radiator itself, which is a custom radiator that we did, custom brackets that we fabricated, oil cooler. We're still running vintage air on, so this vehicle is going to be running AC. So yes, just because it's a race car doesn't mean you can't have AC, right? Wrong. We'll have AC. So Wagner accessory drive system with the daily dry sump on it. Thanks to the guys at LS Dry Sump Solutions, they were able to help us out. Chassis, suspension, it's all going to be set up with TCI. We're running the TCI subframe with the TCI rear suspension itself on the trailing arm setup. The only thing that we're not running TCI on this is going to be their spindles, which what we ended up doing is we designed here in shop our own spindles. So we're running RMS custom billet spindle that utilizes a C7 hub, which everybody knows the C7 hub is a big boy hub, and it's made to accept abuse on it. So, and we made it set up so that way we could also be running a C5, C6 brakes on it. The brakes that we're running on this vehicle, AP brakes. The guys at AP, I mean, they were really helpful. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough. I told them everything that we had going on. They're able to set it up for us, and then the guys at Forge Line give them all the information on the brakes and stuff, and they were able to give us a wheel that we wanted and that we were looking for to make sure that we clear that caliper, because if anybody knows AP brakes on their Radical calipers, it's a big boy. So we got to make sure that we have the wheel spacing. So, and because the Forge Line being a custom wheel company and it being a 3-piece wheel, they can machine, they can whatever we need for the spacing, whatever spacing, back spacing, caliper spacing, whatever we need, they're able to provide for us. So another thing I wanted to go over with you on this vehicle itself is, as you can see, handles. This is the door handle that the vehicle is going to be running. Carbon fiber door, has some steel inside. So, but these are our door handles itself. We wanted to do something because these shells on the carbon fiber, they come plain, so that as you can see, there's no door lock hole or anything like that. So we wanted to do some custom stuff. We didn't want everybody just to do the same thing that's been done over and over and over and over and over again on 69 Camaro. So we went ahead and designed and we made our own custom door handles. So as you just push in, so it's all been machined, has the handles, all the inside, it's all machined, CNC machined. So those are the door handles itself. Those are the door handles that we sell. So, and they will be available in the future. Right now we're just, there's only a couple cars that we have our door handles on right now. And we're still making some changes because just like anything, you design something, you're always looking to see what you can improve, right? So we want to be able to make those door handles so that way, at the end of the day, if somebody buys it, they really won't have any issues as far as utilizing the door handle itself. The door handles are going to have to be cut and welded in, so the door handles will require somebody with fabrication knowledge skills. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you about this 69 Camaro in the back is, as you can see, everything's custom. We have our RMS tail lights. We have the RMS exhaust, center section exhaust that's coming out. As you can see also, this car will be maintaining air jacks. It's a race car. So customer wants to be able to go and lift up the car real quick and make some changes and doesn't have time to grab a jack and just, you know, set everything up. So hey, license plate's gonna be here, right? So at the end of the day, all he has to do is just lift it up, hook up the air, car goes up 12 inches. Once he's done, release it, car will go back down, bring it down. That's your license plate. So, but yeah, these are our tail lights. This is RMS custom tail lights. We got with the guys at Pyramid Optimized Designed. Saw them at SEMA. I told them that, you know, we had some tail lights that we wanted to design and do in mind. So basically gave them all our measurements, our drawings, and then we collaborated and they were able to make this a reality for us. So it was huge. Can't thank Zach and his team enough. I mean, they've been awesome. Zach also is a big part of this build. They're also, the guys at Optimus Design, they're also doing the interior design on this car. So this car is also going to have all 3D printing parts in there. So once we get all the pieces back, it just makes the vehicle so much easier to finish out. So we can just take it to the upholstery guy. He can go ahead and start, you know, sewing, gluing, whatever he has to do on the interior and put everything back. But the fitment should be a lot better than starting from scratch on some of the stuff. So, but yeah, I can't thank the guys at Pyramid Optimized Design enough for the help. So with this build, also, as you can see, we are running the Ring Brothers deck lid hinge as well. It's going to have obviously it's going to have the rear deck filler panel. It's going to be carbon fiber. The deck lid's going to be carbon fiber. As far as it's going to have two breather cans for the fuel and for the differential on this. We did a custom fuel tank for this, which we built in-house. It's an aluminum tank. We're going to be running 2 ZL1 pumps on this vehicle because we are running E85. So if everybody knows, E85 requires 30% more fuel. So one of the fuel pumps should be good for about 750 horsepower. So we're running 2 pumps. That should give you an idea of how much horsepower this engine NA is going to be making. So again, we have an idea of what's going to be making, but I'm not going to put those numbers out yet because at the end of the day, like I said, I want to keep a lot of this stuff on the shop down low. So, this is one of those things where we decided to build this car. The guys, Garrett and Tyler and Lefty Randall came to us. Can't thank them enough for giving us the opportunity. They've been a huge part of RMS Customs and Fab. This car has been here since we started the shop. We did build the Concourse 67 RSSS for them first. When we both had the cars, we wanted to see what was going to be easier and at the same time help us put our name out there. So we ended up doing the 67 Camaro, which is done already pretty good because we took it in a couple of shows. Garrett took it to a Concours show and it got first place, so we're pretty stoked on that. Again, I can't thank that family enough. They've given us, you know, basically just open arms and just said, you know, this is what we want, let's build it, we're behind you and let's just go for it. So again, without them, this wouldn't be possible. This wouldn't be possible for RMS. So it's a huge blessing to have them part of the RMS family. So, but I wanted to go with you guys on the inside of the interior. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So as you can see, everything's custom. So we went ahead and machined, designed those pieces on the bottom. This is something that we wanted to make sure everybody knows the name of this car, which is Commando. So we went ahead and did those CNC plates with carbon fiber backing. There's a roll cage. Again, the roll cage is still going to continue. We still haven't finished because Well, when you're in the building stages, the last thing you want to do is have a roll cage that's going to be in your way while you're going in and out, in and out. So we're going to finish off those bars later down the road. For right now, we still need to finish a lot of the things that we need to do inside. We still need to mount the air jacks inside, and at the same time the weight distribution for the vehicle itself, the mounting locations for it. So, but this vehicle will have, it's running a T56 Magnum transmission that's been modified. The guys over at Texas Powertrain in Houston helped us out, shipped out the tranny over there to them. They went over the whole transmission, they cryo treated it. They put squirters in the 3 and 4th gear to, we're running an external oil pump on this with the cooler. So once a vehicle reaches a certain temperature, or the transmission fluid reaches a certain temperature, and then it will trigger on the switch by the ECU and have it, and basically turn it on the fan, so that way it cools down the fluid, because obviously everybody knows when you're doing a lot of road racing or anything like that, I mean, every component, which is differential, transmission, engine, brakes, tires, it takes a beating. So you gotta make sure that this vehicle it's well covered and well protected as far as longevity and safety. So don't want to have a transmission locking up on a customer, or don't want to have a differential locking up on a customer because the fluids are getting too hot, or it just damages bearings. So at the same time, you know, building this car is giving us the freedom, but it's been challenging trying to fit certain things, because it's a race car but street car. So making sure that everything that we want to have on the car fits. It's been crazy. So the vehicle interior theme is going to be an F40. So why an F40 in a Camaro? Why not? Customer wanted, he wants an F40 theme. It's not going to be all F40, so it is going to have an calibration with Garrett, with Zach at Pyramid, and then with us, as far as all the stuff that we're utilizing on the vehicle, all the engine management on this, for this engine and transmission, everything, and sensors and data reading and everything. We're using a Holley Dominator computer. So we wanted to use, I'll be honest with you, there is a lot of ECUs out there that could have been better, yes, but at the end of the day, when this vehicle, since it's going to be out of state and we're not going to have it in our hands, or at the same time, if it's going to be, if he's having issues, it's easier to find a tuner for a Holley. That's no doubt. So we might change up the ECU later, but for right now, we're just going to leave it a Holley. The ECU is also going to give us more of a learning curve into the engine management system, because Holley is a lot easier to learn into than jumping in and going with an aftermarket ECU that's more set up for, you know, like Motec or stuff like that. That gets a little bit more complicated. So we don't want to. The car is going to be pretty well built, but we don't want to complicate things too much on the electronics. So we went with the Holley, and with that being said, I mean we should be able to do everything that we need to do, you know, especially having up to four tunes, and he's gonna have an axis switch in there, so that way he can switch it up to whenever he wants to do what, you know, street tune, an autocross tune, a road race tune, and, you know, a rainy day tune, you know, so then make sure that, you know, his traction control is gonna be all set up and it's not spinning the tires wherever he goes. So again, we're using, it's an S1 sequential, it's the transmission built, so, you know, revving up, you know, high RPMs and not making sure that he's not missing, you know, missing a gear, going through the gears or anything like that is going to be so much easier. Plus, he'll have the display on his dash what gear he's in. And so, but yeah, like I said, there is going to be some plans later on in the future in the car, or some changes. But for right now, we're utilizing some of the stuff that the customer already had and didn't want to change. At the same time, when you go in this caliber building a car, it's very expensive. Parts are very expensive, custom parts are very expensive. So we have to see, as far as where do we want to put the money so we can get the most out of the car right now and not be a crazy drastic change that we have to cut, weld, and do all kinds of crazy things. Well, transmission now these days, especially having a sequential transmission, it's an easy swap for a T56. So we didn't have to worry about that as far as being crazy later on in the future. So we can just remove the old one and put a sequential in, and everything obviously having its same location and everything like that. So we can worry about that down the road. Right now, we just want to go ahead and finish building this car of what it needs to be, and can't wait to have this car out on the road. Can't wait to have this car on the road racing and autocrossing and everything else that the customer wants to do with this vehicle. So, okay guys, what I wanted to go over with you on 69 Commando Camaro is the rear suspension. Again, the front we're using TCI, the rear is going to be also TCI. The rear subframe on this vehicle has been modified, which also the TCI suspension has been modified. I won't go into depth what we modified, because again, there's stuff that we wanted to do on our part within the shop, and I don't want to give out too much information, so because top secret. So, but again, we're using a forged line. We're running a 19-inch wheel. It's like, whoa, hey, it's a road race car. 19-inch wheels, why? Why not? We have the tires for it. We have the gearing. It is using a 49-inch. This car does have floater axles, okay? So we don't have to worry about piston slapback on the calipers. So it has full floating axles on this car. Basically it's a 19 by 12 in the rear, and it's an 18 by 12 in the front. This car is having a 315 in the back, but this car will be having a bigger tire. Right now we just have it set up like this, but this vehicle is made to run a big wide tire in the back. So we have a lot of options on this car, and that's one of the things that we wanted to do and keep in mind this car. Quarter panels have been stretched. I won't tell you how much, because again, that's us. That's what keeps RMS Customs and Fab. You know, customers like building a Camaro from us. Come to us, we'll give you what you want. So this car has been an awesome build process. If you guys see and like what we're doing, you guys want some more keep updates on the car itself, on 69 Commando Camaro, follow us, RMS Customs and Fab on Facebook, RMS Customs and Fab on Instagram, and look us up, RMS Customs and Fab on YouTube. Make sure you guys click the like and subscribe button and follow. And you guys can keep up with all the updates that we have going on in the shop, with all the cool builds that we have going on, and especially with this awesome Camaro that we have going on.